Hi, everybody. I'm leading the Swisscom Ventures, which is the corporate venturing unit of the Swisscom Group. For those of you who don't know Swisscom, it's a telecom company in Switzerland and Italy, 20 billion market cap about. And we've invested about $100 million in the last 6 years when we started this corporate venturing fund. About 20 companies in our portfolio. We also have done some indirect investments via venture capital funds, 3 funds. And our strategy is simple: to invest in companies which are working with Swisscom, one way or another, because we feel we're not credible to invest in spaces where we can't add strategic value. And for us, strategic value is hard work. It's not, fancy strategic comments once in a while on board, because this is not worth so much for you guys. But it's all about business development inside the group of Swisscom. And once it works inside our organization, then we go to the other, let's say, telcos around the world, and we try to form syndicates of telcos, because we all have the same needs. So if it works in one country, especially in a small country like Switzerland, it's neutral, it's 4 languages. It can work then afterwards in the bigger countries like Germany, France, Italy. And so basically we like to be early stage in new technologies which can then be replicated worldwide. A couple of examples: if you see the Wi-Fi, next generation Wi-Fi, 4x4 MIMO for antennas with Quantenna. 2 days ago, they just raised $80 million. And there was a company which we had in our labs at the stage where they was not even implemented. And it took us 18 months to implement it in Switzerland. And actually, in a couple of times, because we invest in this company, we had to kick off the process and make sure it doesn't stop. So it's all about having interest, showing our colleagues that they have an interest to make this company work and being successful. And afterwards, we brought in Telefonica Ventures and other corporates and other people on board, because then now Quantenna is about to, is currently being rolled out worldwide. So we've got a few of those examples. And I'd like to share with you the experience, or let's say the trauma of working with corporates. Because I spend half of my time dealing with issues which are relevant for our invested companies. That's the beauty of corporates, is that we don't have to raise funds other than convincing our mother company. So I don't spend time with that. But all the time is about bridging between entrepreneurs and the telcos. And that is a big, difficult exercise. And I've seen, unfortunately, quite a few companies dying on the way, because you get big promises inside big corporates, and you think this is going to be easy, and you underestimate the amount of time, resources necessary to get to revenues with those guys. So my role sometimes is to stop a process where I feel this is just pure speculation. It's not because you've got one guy in a big company saying, "Oh, I'm interested, let's try and pilot." That doesn't mean the other person or his boss has decided to take on board the company. And the ability to assess how serious is a corporate is something which requires experience and sometimes inside knowledge. That's why we are here. I don't know, just experience. Out of you, how many of you have had difficult experiences inside big corporates? Is that something which is important for you and has been difficult? Yeah, you see, more than a third, almost half. And this is, money coming from customers is more valuable than, as we said, than from anybody else. So it's a fundamental piece of the equation to be able to have one big sponsor, one big reference customer, and to be able to deal with those big companies is not easy. So we try to help, and maybe a couple of experiences on that, if I have time. No, not much. The point is, try to build a relationship of strength when you talk with big corporates. And I know it's not easy because you're small and you are desperate to get into a relation. But don't show your weakness. Try to establish alternatives. Go B2C with an app on mobile so that you can then show you've got alternatives. And just don't show you are dependent on the big corporates. Because the telcos in particular, they hate feeling that the startup is dependent on them. They want to see big guys on the other side. So you be tough. I would say startups typically are too nice with corporate and telcos in particular, because they put too much belief that it will go fine. I think it's better to establish a relationship of, as much as possible of power, not struggle, but let's say of partnership, but based on strong alternatives. And the best way is to go around a B2B strategy, having a B2C strategy in parallel. Even though you might at some stage decide to focus on one rather than the other, but don't be too focused initially if you want to have a chance. Because the process can be about 2 years. It can take 2 years until you really get into integrated into the mainstream product. That's it. Maybe one word on myself. I was an entrepreneur before, about 12 years ago in London, in fact. I joined Swisscom 10 years ago, first on the strategy side, but then I started Swisscom Ventures, which is doing what is my passion, which is about entrepreneurship and bridging between corporate and entrepreneurs. That's it. If you've got questions, I'm happy to be answering them.